Well, hello, J Factor team. It is Diamond Director Becky Hurley, and I'm coming in from beautiful British Columbia today. We just landed back from Lead in Vegas last night, and we are so excited. And if you had a chance to watch any of the live stream and you saw some of the presentations going on, you will know why everybody's so excited. And if you saw any of the pictures, when we first got there, I think you'll probably notice that as of starting on Friday night, and especially at that Sapphire night, I think you'll notice that we all are looking a lot better. That's one of the big comments that we were all saying to each other is, because I had some really bad pictures that I saw of myself, and then some really great pictures, but we couldn't be more excited to have our special guest on with us today, Yolanda Halston. She is the creator of this amazing new product. And now, I mean, we're just so happy that we can talk about this now and not have to be so coy. So this is our new Envy product, and Be the Envy is our tagline. And just look how beautiful the presentation is of this kit that we were able to pick up. I'm not sure exactly what kind of kits they're gonna be coming out with afterwards when they bring out the full line. Maybe Yolanda can fill us in on a little bit of that if she knows any of that. But we just had such a great time at Leeds. So Bev Aliwa, myself, and Kathleen Degelman are going to be talking about some of the things that happened at Lead, but we're going to start the show off with our special guest, Yolanda Halston, makeup artist extraordinaire to the celebrities, and she's going to tell us a little bit more about just how this all came to happen. Yolanda, thank you so much for coming on and joining us today. We couldn't be happier to be partnering with you.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be able to share this with you. And it's we've been working on it for quite some time to perfect it and make sure that it's everything that we want it to be. And so, yes, it was a great time in Vegas, and I'm really excited to talk to you about the product. I know you've got some questions for me too. So just to tell you a little bit about myself, I'm a makeup artist. I started in Los Angeles, California when I was 18, so have a little bit of experience there. Did a lot of film and television initially, but then I fell in love with fashion and just, you know, making people feel beautiful. So I had early on a lot of experience doing Sports Illustrated, which is, you know, that beautiful skin that doesn't look like it has any makeup on, like you just rolled out of bed looking that fabulous. And then, you know, in extreme situations, like in and out of the water, extreme humidity in some of those tropical locations, and then in the desert where it's really dry. And so, like Mark said in his presentation, I started out when it was SD, and you know, there was a different type of makeup, a different formula, a different texture for every different type of film. You know, from television was different than what you'd use on film versus what you'd use for photography. And now with HD, we all have an HD camera in our hands, and we're taking pictures. I think Becky referred to that as well, about, you know, you want to look great every day, you know, taking pictures on your phones or just walking down the street. You want to look natural, you want to look beautiful, and your skin is the most important thing that you have, because I think of cosmetic products as accessories. So, you know, some days I'm going to wear lashes and pale lips, and another day I'm going to wear red lipstick and, you know, nothing else. And your skin always needs to look good. And if your skin looks good, then everything else looks good too. So we're starting there, and I'm going to share a little bit about the product and what makes it special. But I'll just let you jump back in and see if I didn't cover anything there.
Yeah, no, I think that's fabulous. And again, we've been, I know that we met you a couple of years ago, so we've all been expecting this product for a couple of years. And just when I walked on the stage and was finally able to really say something about it, I was just absolutely thrilled. So I do have a couple of questions here that I'd like to ask. Did you work with Dr. Newman on adding the APT 200, and how was that experience?
Yes, Dr. Newman is amazing. He's brilliant, and his product is very specific. I mean, there's nothing else like it. So yes, we worked together to add it into my formulations, and then also we made some improvements to where I'm sure that you all know about the buzz that's going on about talc and how that is not good for the skin. And so we wanted to make a talc-free formula, paraben-free formula. So yeah, there was quite a bit of work in the lab that we needed to do to perfect it and make sure that it was the very best possible product that we could put out.
Yeah, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. We all love Dr. Newman, so it was great to know that that you guys were working together. I've already been having a few questions about the matching guide. Did you help to develop this matching guide?
I actually, yes, they did a great job with that. I have, you know, a long time ago when I first started working with color, I had done a print of the actual shades on white, on paper, on clear, on every different type of, because you want to, when you see the color, you want to make sure that it's going to be your color and it represents your tone. The problem is that, you know, to see the color, it almost has to have a little bit of white behind it, and so that changes it. So yes, they did a great job with that. I think that when you are selecting your color, there's only really two things you need to know. Am I warm, which is yellow, or am I neutral, which is more color under the skin, where that skin's typically a little bit more translucent. Men are always going to be neutral because they've got all that red blood circulation in their face. Typically, Latin, Greek, Italian, Korean, Chinese, you're going to find that when you look at somebody right away, you're going to know warm or neutral. So I'm pretty much looking at everybody there. Kathleen is definitely warm. You can see she's got a lot more yellow undertone in her skin, but I can go either way. You can see I've got yellow, but I also have red. And when I wear the warm, it actually gives me a little bit more of an opaque appearance. And then when I wear the neutral, it lets my own skin tone come through. So it just kind of depends on what I am, what I'm doing. You know, if I want to look a little bit more polished, I can go over to the warm side because it seems to give me a little bit more of opaqueness. Okay. And the neutral is going to, that warm shade and the neutral shade in the medium is really, if in doubt and you don't know which way to go, pick the neutral and you can't go wrong. Yeah, so the second thing you need to know is, am I light, am I medium, or am I dark? So you asked about how we're going to do the sets. There's been a lot of conversation about it. We possibly will do sets with the 3 light shades, 1 through 3, and then the 3 medium shades, 4 through 6, and then the 3 darker shades, 7 through 9. And they'll always be sold individually, but that's how we're talking about kitting them right now. I think when you're using the guide, that's how they've got the guide pages set up. You've got your 3 lights, your 3 mediums, and your 3 deeps. So when somebody walks in, I do a lot of celebrity comparisons. I don't want to actually, you know, put that out there to say these people use the product. So I don't want to misunderstand, but just to give you an idea, you're gonna, in the light family, that into neutral shade is gonna be perfect for somebody who's like Nicole Kidman, but it's also gonna be our most popular selling shade in Korea. I'll tell you why. Because it's neutral and it's light, but it has what they call a blooming effect. And it took me a while to figure out what that actually means, but it's a glow that doesn't erase the skin, and it allows the skin to glow from underneath. And they like that. Light bright is what they call it, blooming. Then your warm 1 and your warm 3. 1 is like a porcelain. It's like a Cate Blanchett, And then the warm 3 is more like a Reese Witherspoon or like Kathleen. Still light skin, but not pale, and warm. So then you're going to jump into your medium card. So the N4 and the warm 5 are both about the same level. I would say even the warm 5 is actually a teensy bit lighter than the N4. And the reason it is because the yellow-based products have more white in them to begin with. So originally, when I was doing shades, I had planned on doing 10 neutrals, 10 warms, 10, and I just didn't need them. These shades, I've traveled the world from Puerto Rico to Ireland to South Africa to New Zealand to Singapore and Japan. I've been all over, and I've never found anyone that I couldn't match. There's maybe 1 or 2 really darker shades. There goes my cat in the back. There's 1 or 2 really darker shades that we could add if they are needed down the line, but right now I don't think you're gonna find anybody that you can't match. The other thing that we have, so in the medium, the N4 would be like me. It would be like what you would use, Becky, as your concealer. Okay. And then also it's what Wendy Lewis wears. And it's a shade that is, like I said, if in doubt, that's your go-to. That's gonna be probably our highest seller. Then the warm 5 is like a Cameron Diaz or like a Cindy Crawford. You've got that warm undertone, sort of golden color. You're gonna find that if you have people that use self-tanner on their bodies, they're gonna need to go to those yellow shades, those warm shades. Then the N6, Jennifer Lopez, hands down. I mean, that's also what you're gonna wear, Becky, for when you're tan, because that red undertone that you get naturally when you're in the sunshine, you don't wanna erase that with a yellow. And so that's where you're gonna go. It's also where you're gonna go for men. Like Steve on the stage, he probably really is a 4, but if you were just gonna match it and melt it into his skin. But with a man, you're always gonna go 1 shade darker. Jump up to that next level, the N6, the N8. You met Roger earlier. He actually wears an N8 mixed in with his moisturizer. And so there's all kinds of little tricks that you can do. Like you don't have to spray it on by itself. You can mix things together. You can mix it into your moisturizer. Some people take the bronzer and they spray it on a fluffy brush and brush it on like that in all their high points. Because it is a cosmetic, there's no rules. You can find what works in your routine. And I love the spray because the spray is an airbrush. It gives you that sort of blurred airbrushed effect. But if you're getting used to the spray, start with your primer because there's no color in the primer, and you feel right where you're spraying it. And when you do spray it, you're spraying it like this. So 90-degree angle with your arm, that's the distance. If you spray here, just if you were spraying your face with water, you'd get wet. If you spray out here, then it's just gonna fall before it even gets to your face. So just right where it feels comfortable, that one quick little zigzag right down the center of your face, that's all you need. And you're gonna start with your primer. I think one of the questions that you had asked me earlier is that can you use more layers of primer if you have dry skin? Absolutely. A primer is supposed to fill the fine lines and pores. And when you spray, you coat your lashes, you coat your eyebrows, you coat your lips, you get your skin all in that really quick 2-second mist. But if you have somebody who has really dehydrated skin, or like they live in Utah, for instance, and everything just goes, gets sucked into the pores, you can actually spray it really directionally, just right in that area instead of doing the whole area, and add more layers that way. Or you could spray it in the palm of your hand and put it just in those areas where you need more, typically right here, this little area. Nose, cheeks is where you tend to use more.
Okay, kind of like you would a concealer.
Yep.
under the eye. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I know that you've used this with the Instantly Ageless as well.
Yes.
So do you recommend
Oh, sorry.
Do you recommend doing the application of Instantly Ageless first and then doing your Envy?
I've done it both ways. It works great both ways. And I see a lot of these questions about what cosmetic product can I use with it. And, typically, obviously Instantly Ageless is being used under the eyes, and it doesn't work well with an oil-based foundation or concealer, anything that has oil in it. And all the concealers are an oil base. So that's why you get that little bit of lifting if you're touching it. Whereas with this product, you can put your foundation, your primary foundation on first, put your Instantly Ageless right over the top of it. Or you can do your skincare routine first and your Instantly Ageless, and then just go right over the top of it with your finger. And this is the motion that you're using. You're not pulling and tugging. You don't want to stretch that skin out. And also, when you're rubbing, you are potentially going to lift that edge. So you just want to tap, 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 and blend it in just like that. And it works beautifully under and over the top.
Fantastic. I know Kathleen had a couple of questions as well. Kathleen, what questions did you have for Yolanda?
Hi, Yolanda. Great to see you. It was wonderful to see you over the weekend, and we're so excited. You cut out for me when you mentioned what we should do in terms of Latin Americans and people with more olive complexion. What was the comment there?
The N6 is hands down that beautiful shade. That N6 it's not quite a dark shade, but it's what I have on my forehead around. I'm sure you've seen a lot of women doing that highlighted contoured look where they're going very light here and very dark here and all around the outside. Well, you can get that look, but in a much more natural way by taking the shade that matches your skin tone. So for somebody that is of the same skin tone as Jennifer Lopez, I would take the 4, go under the eyes in this V area like that, and here, and then take my 6 and go across the forehead and then down the sides like this, and you get that beautiful highlighted contoured look. Even though I don't have her skin, I can get the look of that skin. So it's gonna match her, but it's something that I would use to give myself more color. Sorry about the cat.
You've got a wall behind you.
So then just to keep going with the colors, Kathleen, I'm happy you brought that back. The 7 is like a Beyonce. It's also the shade I would use to get that Brazilian tan on my legs and on my body. It's a color that is, it's a golden caramel, I guess is the best way to describe it. It gives you that same color tan if you were using a self-tanning product on your body. And I find that a lot of times people that use self-tanner, it starts to come off in areas on your ankles and on your knees. You can use this to touch that up, or you can actually just use it to get the color in the first place and not put those chemicals on your body. So it's great for that as well. Then you jump up to the 8. Men that are already a little tan, they're going to use that 8 shade. And lightly misting, it's going to give you color, but if you were going to match it to a celebrity, that shade would be the same shade as a Halle Berry. And then you jump up to the next one, which is in 9. That's going to be your Oprah Winfrey shade. And I don't know if you, there's some of the ladies that were there that were wearing the N9. It just looks so beautiful on their skin. It's just, oh my goodness, it's like they already have beautiful skin to begin with, but then when you put it on, it just is flawless. So so those are the 9 foundation shades, but you also have the one bronzer that is sort of one shade fits all. And I chose that particular shade because it is exactly the same color as the Golden Caramel, the Warm 7 foundation, but it is a pearl. It's not a matte color. So when you put that on, it's going to give you that golden glow. And I always say it's the glow without the disco because there's no sparkle in it. So it's for all age types. It's not going to be too young on a more mature person. And it just gives you that beautiful, warm, healthy glow. On anybody who's from a 1 to a 7, anybody who's an 8 or a 9, they're going to use it as their highlighter. So they can either just mist it straight across their eyes like this and get that light through here, or they can spray it in the palm of their hand and use it with their finger and just tap it into the areas where they want to get that glow.
And where would the lighter color people use the bronzer? Just spray all over, or?
All over. Like, I mean, people like, this is one of those products that, like, I don't leave the house without it on my skin. And I actually think that people drink it because they're just, I mean, they just go through it so fast because they're using it everywhere. They use it on their face and on their décolleté, and especially on the legs. I mean, I'm sure you saw Kasaya on stage. She was wearing it on her legs, and it just gives you that glow, just like airbrush perfection. So pretty.
So another question I had, you mentioned if you're too close, you feel wet. So if you feel like your face is wet, then you should spray it out a little bit further? Yeah.
Okay, so the first time you spray your face, you're going to actually, you need to get used to where you're feeling it. And unfortunately, I gave all my product away. I don't have it here. I had cans, and I was there. So I'm gonna just demonstrate with an actual Evian can, because there was some comments that say, oh, is it gonna get all over the place? Well, the spray is very directional. So this is the only can I have left, but it's not my shade, it's too light. This is the Warm 3. So this, you can see, that's a very narrow spray. It sprays right in between there. So you control where you spray it. So when you do this little zigzag right down the center of your face, just like this, the majority of the product's gonna go right where you need the most coverage, right in the center, and then it just evenly sort of feathers itself back and down your neck. Now, once you pass your chin, you stop spraying, but you're gonna get a little bit of residual here unless you want to actually wear it on your décolleté as well, which is great to do that. But when you spray in the film, it shows sort of like a billowing mist. That's the water evaporation. And that's why I wanted to show you with the actual water spray, because if you look at that, you see the water is going everywhere and it evaporates. But I will say, if you have ever had anyone that has used a mineral foundation and a powder, you brush that stuff on and then you turn your sink on and it's just like everywhere. Whereas with this, I like to demonstrate. I just put a piece of tissue right here on the shoulder, and then I spray one side of the face, and then I take the tissue off and show them. There is very little fallout, if any. If you're spraying it directly at the tissue, of course you're going to get a little bit on there, but if you're spraying your face here and then you show them the tissue, it's a great way to demonstrate, because then they actually physically see that it's not going to get all over the place.
Okay, so it sounds like you play around with where, but in general, is it like 6 inches, 10 inches?
8.
8 inches.
If you're gonna say inches, 8. 8 to 10, but if you see where my arm is, that's where it feels comfortable. And if you just pretend like the spray is water, you're not gonna spray for too long. You're not gonna spray too close. But if you open your eyes and you have a little too much on, that's okay. It comes with your sets come with a puff. This is not the identical puff. I actually designed a puff that is shaped like a piece of pie. And it's got that little edge there so you can get in those little corners. But I picked a puff to use for application because the puff actually, when you press it, it absorbs that extra moisture and sets it. And then you don't need powder. If you want to use powder over the top of it, you can, but you don't need it. This gives you that like semi-matte finish. And then just as you go, you can see nothing on the puff. It stays put, but it picks up the moisture. When the makeup is still wet, you're gonna get some on your puff. And that's okay. The first couple of times, if you use too much, you might need to actually buff and pick up a little bit extra. But after you get used to it, it will be very fast and easy, and you'll get just the right amount on every time.
Okay, so my last question, and then we'll turn it back over to Becky and Bev. So after you spray the primer, should you wait a moment before you spray the foundation, your color?
That's a great question. It depends on the look you're going for. So if I have somebody who's very young skin, they don't need a lot of coverage, I'll use the primer first, and then I'll go straight in with the foundation and not press in between, because it kind of actually sort of dilutes it a little bit. If I want somebody who I'm going to do primer and then foundation, and I'm going to conceal, and I'm going to do a more polished look, then I'm going to go in and press in between, because that's going to give it more of a matte finish.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Great tips. I mean, we're going to have so much fun. And here, I've got that little sample of the little,
good.
Little puff, and you can actually, works really well. And just a little funny story. My roommate, I'm not going to mention her name, but some people, she had it, before I could tell her, she was spraying it, and she turned around, and I busted a gut for about an hour. She looked just like the Tin Man from Wizard of Oz. But you know what? Even with that much on, we just buffed it, and she looked fabulous and glowing by the time we went out. So you can't use too much and make it work as well. Bev, I know you had a couple of specific questions as well for Yolanda.
I did. Thank you so much. And Yolanda, I am like writing notes like crazy here, because I am 62 years old. I've never been one much to do makeup and the whole contouring thing. So this is all a brand new university for me. So thank you for taking the time to do this. So one of my questions is you're a day at the office, and now you're going to the party, and you just want to do a quick refresh. How would we do that?
I'm just noticing that I'm getting really low on battery, so I need to plug in really quick so I don't lose you. I'll answer your question though. I'm sorry, can you just repeat it really quick?
So we're at the office, and now we're going to the evening, and you know how you just want to do a quick little freshen up and start looking gorgeous again type of stuff. How would we do that?
You can go right over the top of this as many times as you want to. So if you want to just, let's say you're just running out to the supermarket and you just want to put on a quick layer and just sort of give your skin a fresh look, that's great. And then now you're coming back and you have someplace to go. I just take my puck, press it, just pick up any moisture that's sitting there, and then you can go right over the top of it as if you just did it 2 minutes ago. You can also spray a little bit in the palm of your hand and apply it as a concealer. That's going to give you a more polished look. I always apply the product first, and then I go back in with my concealer, or you can do it the other way. You can conceal first if you intend to conceal. You can conceal first and then airbrush over the top of it. You can go either way.
Excellent, thank you.
I'm going to grab my plug really quick.
Yeah,
So
we'll let you grab the plug. Bev, just while she's doing that, why don't you just fill in the little story that we at the when you were at the airport. We've all
Okay, cool, excellent, yeah. Again, and so the dog is barking here now too, so excellent. So I was at the airport, and I wanted to just have a real quick, I wanted to experiment to see how easy it would be to talk to people about this. And what I did is I stopped at a couple of the kiosks, with the girls, the airport was quiet, they were all standing around looking for customers. And hi, my name is Bev, and we were just at a conference, and our company has launched a brand new spray-on foundation makeup. And I would love to send you a link to let you know, so that you can see what it is. If I could get your cell number, would you be interested in getting the link? In less than 5 minutes, I got 3 names of people that are very excited about seeing this. So I'm really excited about this. I can hardly wait.
Yeah. I see that Yolanda I wonder if her battery actually died. Because,
I think that's what's happened.
Yeah, because I see that she's dropped. So Bev, while we're waiting for her to come back on, hopefully she has given us a ton of information, but why don't you just share some of the other nuggets that you got from the weekend?
Yeah, you know what? It was just such an amazing weekend. Number one, it was hard for me to decide to go because there's been so many family obligations lately, but I knew that this would be important to go, and I am so thrilled that I had, because I heard, even from speakers that I've heard before, I got new nuggets that I'm like, oh, that just makes such sense. But the big awakening thing for me was towards the end on the third day already. And like, I knew that this would be like instantly ageless and that we would be busy, but what didn't connect for me was the fact that we are going to have people, like I rank advanced and got to Sapphire Elite on the strength of the instantly ageless and that buzz that we created. And we had a lot of people on our team that hit, you know, some really lovely ranks with the result of that. So when that like hit me, I'm like, wow, I have people that have been wanting to get to Pearl, wanting to get to Sapphire and stuff and move up. I mean, myself, I want to move up. And so now I can help some people hit some ranks with this. So I'm super excited about that. That was my big thing. It was like, this isn't just about selling the product. This is about helping people rank up again. And so I'm super excited about that.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that was, I mean, the speakers this weekend were amazing. And I'm going to, just for time's sake, I'm going to pass it over to one of those amazing speakers, our very own Kathleen Degelman, our fabulous upline. She's going to share with you a bit about the new customer program that we've got launching soon. Thanks, Kath.
Thanks, Becky. And Bev, I was taking furious notes too. I've got a page and I've got a couple ideas for new tools for our team regarding this NV product. So, well, like Bev and Becky both said, the event at LEAD was fantastic. And for all of you that were there, it was wonderful to get to see you. And Janesse, the events just keep getting better and better. I mean, I think Janesse, you know, at the rate that we've grown, we've all known that there's growing pains when you grow that quickly. And I think Janesse has the on-the-ground staff in place to help make these events just run much more smoothly, first class. The Diamond Dinner was wonderful. The Sapphire Dinner was fantastic. And the party for everybody Saturday night was a lot of fun too. So we've been talking about the NV product a lot. If you saw my presentation over the weekend, we are also announcing a brand new Janesse Preferred program. I've just been texting with Meredith. It looks like that's going to launch in early March. I was hoping it was launching right now, but I'm hearing early March. So stay tuned for that. But this is going to be a great new program to add to our mix. And it looks like Yolanda is back with us. What I love about the Janesse Preferred is it's perfect timing for Janesse to launch this new preferred customer program, because we are going to attract thousands of customers with the new NV product. And so this is like a 1-2 punch. We've got this great new product that's going to get everybody excited. We're going to attract a lot of new people, and we're going to bring back a lot of people, because I'm already hearing from a lot of people that have been with us for a while and have just been waiting for this product, that they're excited about it. And so you combine the new product with this new Janesse Preferred program, which is a much simpler, easier way to enroll a true customer. We're not going to have to try to fit a customer into the wholesale member box. So the way the new Janesse Preferred works is they don't have to pay a fee. Their first order is 25% off. And if they go on auto ship, your preferred customers have the opportunity to pay the same wholesale discount that we do as wholesale members. All of the products across the board are going to be part of the Janesse Preferred. No more, you know, somebody says they want this and you're kind of scrambling because it's not part of the preferred customer program. All of the products are going to be part of the new Janesse Preferred. 25% off for the first order, up to 40% off, just like us on the wholesale members. The new preferred customers going to be able to get that good pricing if they go on auto ship, and they don't have to give any of their personal information. So what I love about this new Janesse Preferred is it's a simple way to enroll customers, and we're going to treat customers like customers. I think that's been missing a little bit for us, so I'm really excited that we have that now. And if you take this brand new NV product and the new Janesse Preferred, we have a great new exciting reason to get back on J parties, to roll out this new launch. when people say, how can I get it? Not everybody's meant to be a distributor. I mean, of course, we want the business builders. We want to build our leaders. But the truth is, the only way this business works is if we all have a lot of customers. And Jeunesse has just given us a great new product to attract thousands of customers, tens of thousands of customers all around the world. Right now, we're going to launch March 1st in the US and Canada. And we were talking with Yolanda before we started the live part of the call. Will go to the rest of the world. It will just take time because we obviously have to get it registered everywhere. So perfect timing for these. Go out and tell everybody about Envy. Right now in the US, we have the lead packages in the cart, and Becky was saying that Stephen Jones was saying in the next few days we'll have it in the Canada cart. March 1st, we'll have all the products, but now is the time to go out and start sharing this. And you can't enroll people in Jeunesse Preferred yet, but look for that in early March and we'll keep you updated. This is a grand slam product, and thank you, Yolanda. I'm so happy that these last 2.5 years of work have come to fruition for you. I know it's going to be great, and it's going to be fantastic for all of us in Jeunesse too. So I'm not sure, Becky, if you wanted to wrap it up with Yolanda, but I'll turn it back to you.
Yeah, I will. I'm glad that you're able to come back on. So yeah, and I'm sure that we're going to have lots more questions. Now, I know, Yolanda, that when you and I were talking before, and thank you so much for being so patient and taking all of my text messages before. I was just so excited about this product coming out, and I'm not the most patient person in the world, but I know that you were talking about the possibility you were going to do some tutorials and have some blogs that would be starting out. Is there anything formal that's coming out as far as that for assistance, so that we don't have to keep pestering you personally all the time?
I'm going to start right away. There's so many things that you can do with this product, from just the everyday use, but then the special needs, people that have rosacea, people that are broken out or have long-term, residuals from having been broken out, with melasma or sunspots. Crepey skin on the chest is really hard to cover, and this product just blurs that and makes it just beautiful. Covering tattoos, spider veins. We've seen a few posts already on that, which are amazing. Just tips and tricks on how to do that and do it fast and use less product. Just other ways of applying the product where, for formal dinner, and how to make it look a little bit more special, and things like that as well. Teaching teenagers how to use their makeup, which is really important, and how to keep it looking young and fresh on more mature skin. So things like that. Just little quick, couple-minute tutorials on each subject. I'll be starting that right away. So if you guys have any things that come up or questions, just send me a text, send me a Facebook message, and I'll make sure I cover those for you right away. I do just want to throw in one more thing, though.
Yeah, please.
Back to the shade matching. I actually developed a software program that Jeunesse has now, which I think was going live on the 10th, but I'll double check that to make sure. But there is a Find My Shade, perfect match shade part of the shopping cart, which will allow you to basically plug in what you are already using. So let's say you use brand X and you use specific formula and use a specific shade. It has kind of a make, model, shade tone that you plug in that you're already using, and you hit send, and immediately your perfect match to our Envy product will come up. There are tens of thousands of brands that are already plugged in. If by some random coincidence there's something new or something very old that we haven't gotten into the software program yet, it will say we will find your shade and send it to you right away. And then myself and an army of makeup artists are going to be out there matching those shades for you. So that way you actually get a shade that you know is going to match your skin tone. And it's a great tool. It will keep your, non-matching shade returns down to a very bare minimum. So it's a great tool. You're going to love it.
Fantastic. Well, we're really looking forward to the full launch. So like Kathleen said, in the US, the packages from the event are live right now. In Canada, they should be back up. They should be up within the next couple of days. Looks like shipping into Canada is going to be about 21 days. They just need to get the warehouse stocked here, but it will be an actual Canadian product. We're not going to have to worry about the import cart at all. So just to get your packages. If you live close to the border, you always have the option. I know where we live, we can order stuff through the States, run down and grab it if you're in a real hurry. A few people do have some of the packages here available. I think I've got one left here in this area, but we're just going to have so much fun. So in the meantime, make sure you're getting yourself educated on this. Watch for Yolanda's blogs and start telling people about it. Now's the time to start telling people, and everything will go live. I believe March 1st is when they'll be able to order individual products. And then we'll have to just see what the packages are that are coming out. So thank you so much. Yolanda, thank you so much for taking the time. I know you're tired after the weekend and you've got your family there that's wanting to spend time with you. So you can go and I'm sure that you're going to be busy for a while now with people inundating you. But just thanks for everything that you do. Thanks for taking the time and caring. Really looking forward to getting to know you better and working with your amazing product over the next many years and adding more people as faithful users as well. Thank you so much, Kathleen Degelman. Thanks for all you do. I'm excited to see what you've got coming out for us to use as marketing tools, along with what Jeunesse has. They've got some great marketing tools. So have a look in the back office. This is going to be fabulous for trade shows, amazing for home parties, doing demos when you're on the go. And Beth, thank you so much. Your business is just going to absolutely skyrocket. Thank you so much for being a wonderful friend and teammate. And we had a great time down in Leeds. Missed you guys all already. And we'll see you all soon. Bye for now.
Bye. Thank you.
Thanks, Yolanda. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.